This is one of many apple trees I've planted, but our heavy clay soil here is not very conducive for plant growth, so at least for trees. So the hole is heavily amended with charcoal and also other organic material. Here I'm using charcoal as a mulch in addition to the wood mulch, which tends to rot over time. The charcoal will not rot, so it'll keep a bed here of very moist growing conditions for my blueberries. And I also amend this with a little bit of sulfur to give it the acidity it needs. But the high pH of charcoal is very quickly neutralized. It's a very small amount of the charcoal in the ash content, and it's quickly neutralized and it's not an issue. One lesson I've learned is the size of the biochar is important. I've been adding it to this soil here, about 6 years, a little bit each year. And if we look at the soil, I'm looking for some of the larger pieces of charcoal that I added. Here's one. And anything much larger than that, it just isn't as effective. I find it much better to take the charcoal and to grind it, and I say a kernel of corn down to dust size is the best particle size for in a garden. This has a lot of electron transfer through it. If it was just one big piece, it wouldn't be as effective. Matter of fact, if I bring this up, let's see if I can zoom in on this. And if I squeeze it, you should be able to see the water come running out of it. But most of the interior of this charcoal is not, it'll hold water, but the roots have a hard time penetrating that. So I'd like to have it this size or smaller. So that's one lesson I've learned early on. Tillage will break it down, but not very fast. If you can add it to your garden as a kernel of corn or smaller, that is best size. So in the sample, we can see pieces. There's a piece of charcoal right there. And the interior is, you squeeze it, a lot of water in there. But it's amazing how well the charcoal will hold water. We had a drought this summer, and the charcoal amended soil, the plants in that soil did so much better without any irrigation. But this is pretty healthy soil. Got a lot of fungi growing here, and it's important, so important to feed the soil. Charcoal is not the total answer. It is just it's an amendment that'll help make your soil hold water, increase soil tilth, hold nutrients, and take this heavy clay soil, which is what I have on my property, and turn it into some very productive farmland. Much like the Indians in the Amazonian jungle found out thousands of years ago. Biochar. It's amazing, amazing stuff. Another use for biochar, especially that made from wood, is to use it in the storage of vegetables. In this case, potatoes stored. Put down a layer of charcoal in the bottom of your food bin, whether it's carrots, potatoes, apples, and this layer of charcoal will absorb any odors, help regulate the temperatures in here and the humidity. And should any potatoes start to rot, the odors will be absorbed by the charcoal. So food storage is another use for biochar.